Guys, Ricardo here. Welcome to another blog tech tips. But of course today guys, I'll be going into this security system, and as you can see, this is the Fortress S03 Wi-Fi Security System. Now as the name suggests guys, it is Wi-Fi enabled, and it basically connects to all of its security features without the use of wires, or basically wires have been cut to a minimum. Now this will be a detailed review going through all of the things I like. I've been using the system for a while, and I must say I'm very impressed with the performance. Now you'll use a system like this in case you need to protect a small business or your house from intruders. So if somebody were to open a door or a window while you're away, the system would actually go off and alarm and also notify the end user. And Fortress has done a solid job of creating a quite affordable as well as a quite detailed security system. So I'll run you through some of the basic features. Now my system is currently set up. As you can see, it is powered. Now one of the things I like guys is if I were to unplug this from the power main, which is connected to now, what would that mean is that it would switch to battery mode. So that means even if somebody were to cut power to the building, you would still have power and the alarm system will not go offline. And that's because it has an internal battery. Now of course there are two modes, and the first of which is the arm mode, which will turn on both the window and door sensors as well as the motion detector, which can be installed in your main rooms. Now of course if you're at home, you can also arm the security system with the home mode, and of course the home mode would only enable the door sensors and motion sensors would be disabled, so you can have the system on while you're at home. And of course there's an unlock. If in case of emergency, there's a SOS function, and of course you can unlock the system by punching in the security code and hitting unlock, or of course guys, again, you can unlock using either the key fob, which is seen here, or the Fortress RFID tag right here. And I actually place both of these together, so you can actually give a person one of each, and of course they are quite flexible. Now guys, what I like also is that you can actually use the app on your smartphone to actually trigger and control the system, and I personally like to use the app. So if I were to show you the app running right now, this is my Android device. It also supports iOS, and you can see the My Fortress app right here with the lock and shield icon. So if I were to just go ahead right now and just to show you the system, so let me just put this down for a bit and show you what the My Fortress app looks like. If I were to enable or disable the Fortress system, I'll get a notification on screen that the system was enabled, disabled, and also if power was cut to the device and it's on battery, it'll actually tell me as well, which is quite nice as you can keep track and see what was done. So let me just launch the app. And if I were to launch the My Fortress app, as you can see here, I could do everything, include harm, disarm, and set the various modes using the system. And of course I can also mess with the management and control of the system by going in here. And as you can see guys, again, I can check the sensors, I can customize them, I can connect to the Wi-Fi and so on, and all of this can be done remotely through the application. So let me just close again. And another additional notification guys is that if you are on the system, you will also get a message to your email, and that will be sent with the time and the sensor that was triggered. And of course you can also have the system call you over the telephone line. You can also set up a internet-based calling system, so the system will call your phone and you can control the system over the phone. So there are quite a number of options available, including internet-based control as well as app-based control and notifications, which basically allows it to cover several conditions. And of course again guys, it supports Alexa, which makes the system a smart home device. So let me just next show you some of the sensors and their placements and what the sensor looks like when it is actually triggered. Alright guys, this is the first sensor, and it's actually on the door. And as you can see here guys, there is a two sections. This section is connected to the door with an adhesive strip, as well as this section. So what happened here guys is if the system is armed, what will happen is that once the the separation between these happens, what will happen is that the sensor is going to automatically send a signal, and that signal, if the Fortress system is armed, will basically cause an alarm unless you disable the system. So let me show you what I mean right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and open the door, and you'll notice the system will send a signal. Now notice guys, as soon as the separation increases, there you go, and you can see the signal is sent. When I close back the door, the signal is still sent. So what's happening here guys is that a signal was just sent to the system, and if the system was on, it will actually alarm. And next I'm going to show you the window sensors as well as the motion sensors. Here guys, we have a motion sensor, and you can see the sensor. I've kind of adjusted the knob. You can actually turn these. They're on a pivoting point, and what you can do is basically turn and rotate the system. Notice my hand just now caused or triggered the sensor to go off. Let me do it again to show you guys, and there you go. And of course they have great range, and they'll send a signal back to the Fortress system, which basically would trigger the alarm if the system is in arm mode or in harm mode, meaning that the system is searching for a signal or movement in the house in case you have left home. Here guys, we have a window sensor, and as you can see, this is a sliding window. So if the window were to be forced open, or if you were to slide the window, what that means that this sensor as well would go off. Alright guys, so let me just show you what the system sounds like once the once you have tripped the sensor. I have basically disconnected the external alarm because that one is much louder than the main alarm. So this is just going to be the indoor sensor without the additional mic. So right away I'm just going to go ahead and arm the system. Tap again, 30-second exit time. If I tap again, system armed. There you go, the system has been armed, meaning it will search for a signal from any of the sensors. So right now guys, off screen, I'm going to open a door to show you what would happen once the system is triggered.
Zone 1, motion sensor, alarming.
Alright, as you can see, I'm going to unlock.
Please enter your password. System disarmed.
Alright, just now I've disarmed the system. So what has happened guys is that the system was turned off. You can actually hear my phone as well. It will notify me that as you can see, the Fortress alarm, and it basically just told me, and there is a email as well to tell me that the sensor was chipped, and of course I should check that out, and I can remotely access the system now and unlock or rearm the system as needed. Now of course guys, this is so nice as you can basically control the system remotely, making your home totally smart. And this is a great security system, and I'm very pleased with the results. Alright guys, so enough of that. So basically guys, I don't want to trip the system too much, as of course I don't want to disturb my neighbors, and I just want to show you the basic alarm function. I've connected the external mic, which is this cable here. I won't trigger the system once more, because once the external mic is connected, or sorry, the external siren is connected, the system does get much louder, and it will alarm both indoor as well as outdoor. The outdoor sensor is very loud, and it will actually be able to alert your neighbors or close by people. There are also additional accessories, but of course I won't get into those. And if you want to see what was included in the package, you can see my unboxing video. I'll link to it through the video as well as the end of the video. But also guys, you must note that please do not, if you get the system, do not test out the sensor while it's in the same room. Meaning, if you're testing out the system and you have this for the first time, do not keep the external speaker indoors. I made the mistake of testing it out by connecting the speakers. I had it on the desk right here while I was doing my testing for setup, and I'm telling you that thing was ear splitting. I mean, it basically would cause my eardrums to just be jumping and so on. It's very loud. I would not keep that sensor indoor unless it was absolutely necessary. So you can keep the panel inside, and of course the loudspeaker or the siren outside, and that will work quite well. And of course guys, just some general observations I've made with the test. you definitely should try out the app. The app will actually want you to link the systems together. And of course, some people will say this is not a Wi-Fi system. It is, but you need to be able to, when you're syncing the app with your phone, you need to enter a special code. Please use your manual for the S03 system, and you need to punch in a code while binding it to your phone, and it will require the security code for the system. Also, make sure you change the default security password. It's too easy to guess. Somebody could disable the system. And of course, guys, if you can, once you have your system set up, be sure to place the system on a wall or so on, because there's a special button inside the wall mount, and once it's disconnected from the wall, what would happen is that it would actually cause the system to start alarming, which is something you definitely want to use in case somebody tries to disable the security system, which is another feature that I actually adore and love. And of course, guys, there's no way you can disable or change settings without knowing the password. You can have several of the key fobs and additional keychains and RFID tags. These things would trigger the alarm. You can go to SOS mode in case you feel that you're in danger. There are several different ways. There's your phone support, so you can actually have control using your app if you're more comfortable with that. So there are a variety of options for you to choose from, and I actually love the features, and this is a system that I would actually buy again. And of course, if there's a upgraded version, I would think about buying this in the future. One of the best security systems I've ever seen. And of course, I have seen other businesses use these, or small businesses use these systems to protect their property. And of course, it covers a lot. So if you're in the market for a great security system that covers everything that you could think of for your home safety or business safety, give this a try. And of course, guys, I can't cover every possibility or every question you could have, but of course, that's why we have the comments. You can go ahead and ask your questions in the comments. But of course, just before we go, you can notice that it does have other buttons such as out, alarm, and so on. And the Fortress, I don't want to show the but there's some serial codes on there I don't want to give away. But of course, guys, this is Ricardo from Blog Tech Tips, looking at the Fortress S03 Wi-Fi security system. And of course, I highly recommend this, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up or a like if you like it. And of course, guys, Ricardo from Blog Tech Tips saying bye until next time. Bye, guys.